Hello everybody, this is the Planet Earth here, and today I'm going to be giving you the ultimate 2021 guide on how to optimize your gaming laptop. So this is how you're going to do it. And promise me, I've been working with Windows since Windows XP, so let's do this real quick. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to the Start menu, you're going to click Run, and you're going to type in msconfig. You're going to wait for msconfig to load up, you're going to go to Startup, and you're going to open up the task manager, go to startup, and disable everything that you could think of. I don't care about any of this stuff, so I disabled it all. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to boot, you're going to go to advanced options, number of processors, click 16, and then click max. Oh, you don't have to click the max memory, just hit it 16 and click OK. Then timeout, put it to 5 seconds or less. I think 3 is the minimum. So just keep it that way, and that'll get rid of that loading screen. It should load up a lot faster. Click No GUI Boot, click OK. It'll ask you if you want to save it and restart. Click No. So next thing that you're going to do is you're going to run CCleaner. After you run CCleaner, scan for issues. Wait for it to finish. Click No. Clean. Next thing you're going to do is a custom clean. Run it. Wait for it to finish. As it's doing that, defrag. Type in defrag. Run as administrator. Go ahead and trim it. Trim C. And then trim any other drivers that you have. Wait for it to finish. If you have a regular HDD, wait for it to defrag. That's the next thing that you're going to do. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to display settings. Then you're going to go to Advanced, Display Settings. Alright, this is not the right one here. Okay. Alright. Okay, that's not the right one, but whatever. Okay, so anyways, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to the Nvidia control panel if you have an Nvidia graphics card. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to follow these settings. Trust me, they work. So, and now it says Windows OS manager selection of the graphics processor. Windows open settings, go to Nvidia container. It'll say save, it'll be on power saving by default. Click on high performance. I don't know why they're integrating Windows into controlling anything to do with the graphics card. Preferred graphics card processor, I would click high performance Nvidia processor unless you like Optimus. Then if you want Optimus, you take Optimus, click apply. Next thing that you're going to do is you're going to click configure. Because I have an Optimus based computer, I have to use RivaTuner to get the maximum frames per second, unlike Crysis 3. Physics settings you can click unless you do a lot of video editing. If you do a lot of video editing or any kind of editing to do with 3D graphics, click the graphics card that you're going to use. So 3080, 3070, 3060, and any future graphics in the future. If you're using a lot of video editing, do not click auto select. Or you could use the CPU, but I would recommend using a graphics card. It would be faster for you in certain applications. Next thing that you're going to do is you don't need to adjust your video color settings. You don't need to adjust your video images settings unless you're a crazy person, then you can. If you're not into that, if you don't have multiple displays, just leave this alone. Manage 3D settings, global settings, come down here. I know that there's different settings depending on what specific graphics card you have and on what specific laptop that you have. Like for me, I do not have the fast sync option, which is annoying because I have to use RivaTuner because I don't have that option. So I guess you could use the 3D application setting. But if I use RivaTuner and just put like crazy amount of FPS, I'll get the maximum performance from this processor. So it says preferred graphics processor for gaming. I just use high performance. Adjust images settings and preview, just leave that alone. So the main thing that you're going to worry about is I wouldn't worry about don't mess with any of these settings. I know there's a lot of people in there that are like, oh, you can turn it off, but I want to be honest with you. Turning off some of these makes the games look like crap, and it looks terrible. It really does. But power management mode is definitely prefer maximum performance. Do not skip that. That is very important. Also, come down here to the battery and click best performance when it's plugged in. Also, this is the next thing that you're gonna do to make sure that you get the most performance. Is you're gonna go to search, and then you're gonna type in control panel. Then you're gonna type in control panel here, not the Nvidia control panel, but the control panel. You're gonna go to system. You're gonna go. Wait a second. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? That's not what I meant by system. Why is it doing that? This is ridiculous. Okay, so you're gonna go to Nvidia. For me, I disabled my integrated graphics because I don't care about the battery. Now, if I'm traveling, I'll re-enable that and then use the Intel graphics card to save the battery. But this is bullcrap. There we go. Advanced system settings. I don't like that Windows keeps ruining the basics of this computer, but whatever. Okay. So anyways, you're going to go to advanced here, system properties, settings, and click custom. Check the smooth edges of screen fonts. Turn off everything else. You don't need it. See how when I'm moving this, it keeps like a box? Trust me, that does help with the speed of the computer. And also turn out this. Remote assistance. You don't need that. Someone can hack you, so you don't need that. Advanced. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go down here and you're going to disable. You don't need to disable Intel graphics card. I'm just saying that if you have an Optimus-based computer and you want looking for pure performance and you don't want issues with stuttering, just disable that graphics there. Unless somehow it turns off the monitor, then don't disable it. But mine doesn't turn off, so that's good. Okay, so you're going to be looking for something called event timer. What about that? Where is it? Yeah, high precision event timer. Disable that. I haven't had any issues disabling that, but you can disable that. They say it's supposed to help with graphics performance, so I disabled it. The next thing that you're going to do is, because Windows is a bag of crap, you're going to go to privacy, and then you're going to do this. You're going to turn everything off. Turn everything off. Turn everything off. General, speech, off. Off. Diagnostics, I would rather not send them nothing, but off. Just, Windows is too invasive. Just off. Location, off. Camera. I guess you can keep that one off. On. Microphone, fine. No, you don't want that. Notifications. No. Account information. No. Just off. Everything off. It just drains your processor. Uses up your background. It's just off. Turn it all off. You don't need any of this junk. This is why I liked Windows XP. Just way too much invasive crap that we don't need. Okay, background apps, you're just going to turn everything off unless you somehow need, I don't know, maybe, I don't think you need any of this on. I mean, I'm not a professional, professional, I've only been using Windows since the beginning. Off. Just turn everything off. You don't need any of this. Allow apps to access your documents library. I mean, you might want to keep that one on, but if it choose which apps, Feedback Hub, OneNote, Voice, nobody needs to access this. Okay, maybe Windows Security, so keep that on. Allow access to your library. Why? I mean, yeah, the camera, the movies, the TVs, Xbox, yeah, you might want to just leave that one on. File system, you might want to leave that alone too. But just turn everything off, but make sure you turn the background apps off. That just drains your processing power. That's just some more bullcrap that you don't need. And then another thing is, we're going to go back to MS Config. I forgot to tell you this. services, Hideout, click Hideout, Microsoft services, and Dell Data Vault. If you don't know, if you're not using really thing with Dell and Intel, just look at the services very carefully and see what you can disable without messing everything. Like, I don't need Dell Support Assist. I can go to the website and download it myself. That's just another thing that's running that doesn't need to run or doesn't need to be on the running icon. The next thing that you're going to do is, if you're having frames per second issue like in Crysis 3, I still play Crysis 3 quite a bit, Crysis 2 and Crysis 3, you're going to want, if you do have a newer graphics card, 2070, 2080, 2070, Crysis 3, in program settings in Nvidia, if you have an AMD processor, you're going to use Riva Tuner to get the maximum frames per second of that graphics card. Okay, so low latency mode I put on Ultra, and then I also put vertical sync, use the 3D application setting because I don't have fast. I only have off, on, adaptive, and adaptive half rate. So because I don't have the fast sync option, I can't get the maximum performance. So I have to open up Riva Tuner, which is bullcrap, in my opinion, and then I'll get the maximum frames. But it's okay because it's an Optimus system. If it wasn't an Optimus system, it would have the fast option. Like I said, defrag, turn off all those apps in the background that Microsoft keeps using that we don't want. You know, clear everything once in a while in the custom clean, keep it clean, and now it says Microsoft Basic Display Driver. See, this is just a bunch of crap. Keeps taking over the graphics processor, and I don't like it. That's one thing I like about Optimus. But the good thing about it, though, is that you can save a lot of battery, I guess. So that's what you do to optimize your system. And, you know, keeping the cache clean and keeping the systems defrag. Just type that in the search box and run it as administrator and just keep trimming these. I mean, it should do it automatically, but I will do it every week. But if you're gaming, I would probably do it more. And then another thing is, if you can go into your settings, I know a lot of people don't like the fan noise of laptops or whatnot, but if you have the option for high performance fan or fan performance, and you're playing games on a very thin laptop, then I would recommend keeping those fans on full blast no matter what. Now, if you're traveling, I would turn that high performance mode on the BIOS settings off. Also, if you're noticing that that your computer keeps turning the fan noises down, or the fan speed down without your permission pretty much, uninstall overclock controls through your settings, the OC Alienware controls. At least for Alienware laptops, it'll stop them turning the fans off. Because you need the full fan speed so you don't overheat the internals of the laptop and prematurely ruin the motherboard. Because these laptops get extremely hot. But if you keep the fans running, they don't get that hot, and I mean, it still gets hot, but not as hot as if you weren't running the fans at full speed. But if you're traveling, turn that off, and you're not gaming, then just turn on Optimus, and then not only turn on Optimus, but prefer integrated graphics. And then, when you're on the battery, make sure it's on best battery life. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of a tune here that I learned over the years. So here's what you do. So if you really want to slow down the processor, I'm going to show you this right now. So right now it's at it's turbo boosting to 4 gigahertz. But I'm going to show you something that's really going to make it interesting. Watch this. So watch. I'm going to go into change advanced, and now watch this. I'm going to adjust it. See, because right now I have it set on battery to 1%. Let me show you. And that's with the Intel graphics card. I get extreme battery life on this thing, when it's not supposed to. But it's called minimum processor state, maximum processor state. So on battery, I put it to 1%. I'm going to show you what happens when I unplug this laptop, but I'm just going to show you right now without unplugging it. I'm going to put it down to 1%. I'm going to click apply. And then I'm going to go down to 1%. Then I'm also going to click apply. I'm plugged in. Keep it at 100% when plugged in, and then turn it down to maybe 60% on battery to get better battery life. Watch the processing speed. It has now gone to 0.79 gigahertz. That's how I save a lot of battery life. Obviously, don't do this while it's plugged in. See, now it goes back up to turbo boosting. But on battery, I'll keep it at 1% and keep it very slow so I can still stream and I can still do things while saving the heck out of the battery that comes with the laptop. Because remember, they're like $90 to replace, but I noticed that if you put it to 1%, it'll save the heck out of these processors. And also, if you want to do some kind of underclocking to even get better thermals, kind of, I know that you can do it through different apps, and you can use other apps to do this, but I actually prefer it this way. I'm going to try to slow that down a little bit, and it's not doing it yet, so we got to go lower. So hold on here. Oh, oops, wrong one. Okay, so 60, and then okay, so now we're at 1.3 gigahertz. You can kind of still game like that, but let's go to 75 because I think that's too slow. I mean, you can play like that, but I think that's too slow. So I would put it to maybe 75. Let's see. Now we got to put it up to 80. Let's put it up to 85, and then let's see what happens. 85. Okay, we're not above 2 gigahertz. We need to be above 2 gigahertz, but not quite turbo boosting, and we'll keep that processor nice and cool. So let's put it up to 91. And then we'll put it up to 91. Let's see if we can get it above 2. Okay, we're at 1.99 gigahertz, so let's put it up to 94. And then we'll put it up to 94. Okay, we're not quite above 2 gigahertz, so let's go ahead and 95 it. See if that makes any difference. I don't think it is. Gotta keep going up slowly. Alright, so 96. And then 96. Okay, we got it above 2 gigahertz now. And it's still underclocked from 2.20 gigahertz. And I think that's good enough, but it's not turbo boosting. See how turbo boosting is turned off? So when you're gaming, look, I'm going to try to kind of make the processor kind of run here. No, it's not going to do nothing, but as you can see, it's not going to burst up to... It's pretty much turned turbo boosting off without doing a lot. And that will keep the processor from really starting to get like gigantically hot. But if you're just a normal gamer and you have a good thermals, then you don't need to do that. But it's also a good way to save battery. A lot of people don't know about this. Now we're back up to turbo boost. Okay, so, but on battery, I'm keeping it down to 1% as slow as possible because these things tend to take up a lot of battery. But if you put Optimus on this specific laptop, if you put Optimus on and then you put the processor down to 1% and then you click on extreme best battery life, I'm telling you, you can get some extreme run times on the battery. It is slow, but you can get some really good run time on the battery. Instead of what the better than the manufacturer can get. But that's what I recommend. Also, I go through all these settings here when sharing media, video playback quality bias, on battery power saving bias, when playing video, optimize power savings, battery. You don't need to mess with those. Internet Explorer, JavaScript timeless frequency, and then Alien FX if you have it, turn it off on battery, and you'll get extreme battery life. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you. Have a good day.